Welcome to the Tired Couch Podcast. I'm your host, Mitch, and as always, we have Mike.
Yo!
And today we're going to be talking about the anime Deadman's Wonderland. But first,
Yeah.
if you want to join in the fun on the Discord, the link is in the description, and it'd be super helpful if you guys gave us like 5 stars or wrote like a real short review or just even said hi in the reviews. It just kind of helps us get to the top of the charts. We'd really appreciate that. But in the Discord, you can find us watching movies, streaming games, doing shit for the show. We play D&D.
Posting pictures of frogs.
Yep, we post pictures of frogs. We just do fun shit. So jump in and join us. And if we like you can just be on the show. Because we just tend to add anybody to the show. But anyways, what's been going on, Mike?
I'm trying to get this fucking alien to fight me in the Pokemon trading card game.
Nice.
I finally found him. He's like one of those Final Fantasy things where it's like, you can only do this at certain points in the game. Kind of shit, so.
That's annoying. I thought he was eventually a part of the story. Like, you have to go fight him.
Nah, you just find him randomly.
Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. There's like 3 ROM hacks of that game.
Really?
Yeah, where like, I'm gonna guess by the names of what they were. Like, you could get like the 2nd gen cards and other generations of cards in there too. So
I don't really care about that as much.
Well, I mean, it's just the same game, but different cards, so I thought it'd be fun. Plus, I'm a Gen 2 guy anyway.
Yeah. This alien dude has, like, a special card. And I don't know what the fuck it does. Every time he plays it, it, like, makes his Pokemon confused.
Oh, is it the Amnesia one?
No, it's a picture of him, like, a real-life version of him, with his hands, like, up in the air. And it's got, like, waves coming out of his hands, and he's got the smile on his face.
I remember that. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Fucking dude went out last night and hung out till like 1:30 in the morning and went to sleep and luckily woke up at 7:30 to see that my boss had called me to tell me to come early. So then I get there by 9. My real job doesn't even start till 11. I feel like shit all day because I'm also sick. I've been sick for 4 days. So, like, I thought I was getting better yesterday, so I was like, yeah, I'll go out. And that was just, like, the worst idea ever. Spent all day trying to recover at work.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
It was terrible.
That's, like, the worst timing.
Yeah, because on the way through, I stopped at the store and grabbed a gallon of water, so I just sat with a gallon of water next to me all day. Just chugging it. It's like, oh. It's fucking terrible. But that Greek restaurant's the shit. And
People always say greasy food helps, but I don't know.
Well, I ate some Chinese food, and
Yeah.
not really. Didn't really help. I like just started feeling better at the end of the day.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever really helped me. Well, like chicken tenders and lots of water tend to get me out of being hungover.
Casey's always like, you just gotta go to McDonald's when you wake up and get a greasy ass burger.
Yeah.
That's like her thing. But
yeah, I've always heard people say, but I don't know, grease just never helped me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just eat food and hopefully recover. It's just because I'm sick, or I would have been like totally fine by like noon probably, because that's usually how that goes. But fucking, they had these drinks. You probably saw the picture in the Discord. They're called Luck of the Irish, and they're basically just fucking green Long Islands.
Aw.
Just slamming them. They're so good though. But yeah, that Greek place is fucking sweet. They always got something cool going on.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. What Taylor's did something, and I just seen it said Luck of the Irish.
Yeah. I see.
It's like, okay.
That was the first fucking. Well, it's in the Cheers Mate section where we showed drinks, and that was the first thing that caught her eye. She was like, "Oh, I can post the drinks."
Well, that just like popped up to me in my notifications, just as the text. Didn't have a picture, so I didn't know what it was.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I just knew she was posting something to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know what I want to play next because I just beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at like 97 hours, and I'm just like, I don't know what I want to move on to. So I downloaded Monster Hunter Rise. It was like,
Rise?
yeah, because it's on Game
Why didn't you
Pass.
get Wild or whatever? Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to pay for that kind of game unless I'm going to have somebody to always play with me. I just wanted to see how Wilds was. But I've heard like a lot of mixed reviews about it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, World was like really good. Especially by the end of it.
Yeah, it was a badass game. It's just one of those games that I'm just only going to play with other people. That's why I was like, I'll just download Rise and see if I can actually like enjoy it by myself.
Yeah. I like it by myself because it's like an epic struggle.
Yeah, I haven't even like started it at all. I think I ended up playing what did I end up playing? Something on PS2. I don't know. Just playing.
Pretty sure they'll still have all 16 weapons or whatever. So I think they've always had those.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep on hearing really good things about Wilds. So I'm just like kind of trying to get in the mood for it. But at the same time, I really want to play a Dragon Quest game again. And I also kind of want to play those Suikoden games, but I don't know which one I'm going to pick first. That's why I'm still on the fence.
Play Suikoden. There's a part of Suikoden that ruins the game for me, though.
What is it?
One of the characters dies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like my thought process was like, we could just pick Suikoden because like it's kind of a hot topic right now, but it'll still be a hot topic when it gets to your game choice, and I know you're gonna want to pick it at some point anyway. So I'm like, might as well just play like Dragon Quest and then play Suikoden because you're gonna want to pick Suikoden anyway.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. Playing 2 like 40-hour games.
Well, I don't know how long Dragon Quest is.
I forget how long Suikoden is as well.
All I know is every Dragon Quest game I've played has been like pretty fucking long, dude. Like that Dragon Quest 3 HD remaster that just came out. That was long as fuck. The original.
I remember Suikoden just being packed with shit.
Yeah, and that's what took me so long because I was just like doing all this fucking shit that I really liked. And Dragon Quest 11 is just inherently long as fuck.
The first of the, well, I guess it'd be like the third or fourth of the star that you can get like right at the beginning of the game. There's you'll have like this meeting with like your grandpa whenever he's like sending you out on your journey when you leave the city for the first time. And you like leave that area and it just has like a tree. And then you like go back to that area immediately and there's a squirrel named Moo, I think. Or he is a Moo, which is one of the enemies. And he joins your squad.
Well then.
Yeah, it's nice to have like, I always like to get my team as full as possible, and I think it's sweet that you can have 6 team members.
Yeah, there is that like Yodeling Chronicles or whatever the fuck it is. That one game I told you about on Xbox. It was just like this random game I told you about. It's a love letter to Suikoden, and you get to have 6 people in it.
Nice.
And it's just like, I don't know, it's a fun game.
There's just a lot of characters in Suikoden, and they seem to put a good amount of effort into a good amount of them.
Well, at least that's good. That's kind of how I felt about Chained Echoes. Like, they put effort into everybody except for, like, the super secret characters. But they kind of they still played their part, but just not as big as, like, all the other ones.
Yeah, it's like in Suikoden, it's 108 characters that you get to choose from. So. And what broke me was they killed one of them off, and I was like, fuck you. That's it. Done.
Oh, you never finished it?
Like, that was my main team member. It's like if they killed Auron, like, halfway through the game, kind of shit.
That's fucking lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I really would like us to play 3 HD because I think you'd just love the vocational system. You literally just build a party out of, like, you start the game by building a party, and they can be whatever the fuck you want.
Nice.
And it's like,
yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. And then you, like, upgrade their class later on. And it takes the shit with them, like, that's why I didn't upgrade my white mage or my black mage till I got every single ability so they could carry it over with them. So, like,
it sounds like Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it's kind of like that kind of deal, but like, you go back to level 0 when you do it, and you lose some stat points. But then once you build that character up again, you'll get even more than those stat points anyway. If that makes sense to you, like more than what you would have lost, so it all like evens out, you know. But like, if you, like, my white mage, I made into a warrior, so it could be like a healing tank.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it was pretty badass. So you can do like fun shit like that. And my monster hunter, or my monster wrangler, was like fucking insane. I never even evolved his class because he just does so much damage. And I wanted a monster wrangler on my team because it literally, his power is based off of the monsters and how many monsters you find in the game. So, yeah. And there's just tons of secret shit. So there's just a lot to do in it. That's like a lot of the shit I was doing in that game, was finding those monsters and doing the monster tournaments. Like, I don't know. But you ready to talk about Deadman's Wonderland?
Yeah.
Alright. Let me pull this motherfucker up. Alright. Deadman Wonderland is a manga written by Jinsei Katakao, and illustrated by Kazuma Kondo. Serialized in Shonen Ace since 2007, an anime adaptation, which is what we'll be talking about, has premiered on April 16th, 2007. Deadman Wonderland is about Ganta Igarashi being sentenced to death for a crime he didn't commit. He is sent to the privately run prison Deadman Wonderland, where he meets his lost childhood friend, Shiro. And they don't know that they're friends or some shit. Well, at least he doesn't remember her, because I'm pretty sure she brings up the fact that they used to play all the time. And then he eventually remembers, right? Some shit.
Yeah.
Right. He soon figures out
she like says he's weak and he's always been weak. Or whatever.
Yeah. On the front of the manga, Ganta looks like Ganta, but Shiro does not look like Shiro.
She doesn't.
No. Like, that white suit is like flesh colored. And her face looks really adult. Like, she doesn't look like a kid. Yeah, it's true.
I'll show better.
I'll show you after the show. He soon figures out he isn't like any normal prisoner, but that he's a dead man, someone who has a branch of sin. This means he can control his blood freely. Everybody who's a dead man and has this power, they all do different shit. Like, Ganta shoots bullets of blood, and Crow has like these blades that come out of his forearms. Like, just random shit like that. Some of them make like webs and whips out of their hair.
Yeah, Hummingbird has whips.
Yeah. I don't even know what Mockingbird's power was. He just kept going.
Yeah, they didn't show it. They showed him like copying Crow's power though.
Yeah, I do remember that. He is sent to G Ward and meets all the other Deadmen. They discover a plot set up by the Chief Warden, Tamaki, that has to do with the Red Man, the man who has framed Ganta into Deadman Wonderland. They decide to fight Tamaki and his underlings, the Undertakers and the Forgeries. I don't know who the Forgeries are. Who are those?
Yeah. I don't know. That might be a synopsis from the manga.
But the plot goes further than Tamaki. And that's where I'm going to be done reading that.
Huh.
This anime is extremely brutal.
Yeah.
And yeah, watch this shit in private. Like, I saw the first episode while I was at work, and I was like, well, don't get to watch this on my TV. Unless, like, everybody's asleep.
Oh yeah, the first episode pretty much sets it out.
Yeah, which is let's just kick it off with the first episode we did. I guess there's only one season, but there's a shit ton of manga. Strange.
I don't know. There's 13 of them.
13 so, like books,
volumes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's well, I don't know in manga terms if that's a shitload, but
yeah, I don't know how many that translates episode wise into the manga or anime.
Yeah. So in the very first episode, Ganta is just chilling in school, talking to his friends, and then this fucking
I love it, dude. It's so like it's set up like just the classic normal anime.
Yeah,
like,
until until this flying red dude like blows the fucking side off the school and just like slaughters, I don't know, what did they say, 32 children?
Something like that, yeah.
And like Ganta just survives and wakes up, and like this girl he likes, her head's like just rolled right by him.
Yeah.
Like it's just laying there, there's just body parts everywhere. And then he tries to kill Ganta, and I don't know, somehow a crystal shoots out of his hand and gets stuck in his chest, and that's how he gets his powers. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I was thinking he was like maybe the Red Man like escapes wherever he's caught in, and he goes and infects other people and spreads it or some shit.
Yeah, but like
I was thinking.
Yeah, this anime doesn't explain a lot of things and leaves a lot of shit just kind of like hanging. Like, despite it actually being good, there's just a lot. That's the only pet peeve I have about it, is just because I hardly ever know, like, half the time what the fuck is going on. Like Mockingbird, we never got his fucking, we never knew his powers. At the end, you never know if they made it out. You just kind of shit happens.
It was cancelled, supposedly.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
And like,
so it never got an ending.
Yeah, and like
sad.
The final episode is about Crow before he ended up in Deadman's Wonderland, and they end that episode with just, yeah, guys, and we're gonna be the ones to put those bad guys in there. And like,
yeah.
Okay, why even make this? Like, I don't know, it's just so strange. You know?
Yeah, it didn't tell us anything. It didn't show us how Crow got in Deadman's Wonderland. It didn't show, like... I thought that crazy dude that he was going against was going to be Mockingbird, but, like... Because his hairstyle is kind of the same, but I was like, well, he's not really pale, and it looks like a different color.
He's also not a kid.
A completely different guy.
Mockingbird looks like a kid, or like a teenager or something.
Yeah, well, they made him short, and, like... The first shots with the one guy, he's standing kind of far away from Crow, so I couldn't really tell how tall he was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he just seemed like a kid. I don't know. And his voice is real, like, flamboyant.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I don't know what this is, but okay. He's just, like, really fast. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why. That's another thing why. Like, he kind of looks like him, and he does that I move, like, super fast thing.
Yeah.
So they always do that in anime, seems like.
Yeah, they fucking always do. That's what I was just about to say. So yeah, he wakes up and that happens to him. And all of a sudden there's this dude acting like he's his lawyer and he's gonna get him out of this mess. And then they go to court. They're like, well, we have footage of everything that happened. He's like, yeah, sweet. And then they share the footage and it's corrupted bullshit footage of Ganta bragging that he killed them, and he's like, fuck those dumb cunts. He's like, well, what did he say? He's like, if they had more brains and less shit in their cunts, maybe they would have survived all this shit. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, he's saying the most fucked up shit. And he's like, what is it, is getting sentenced, and it, like, takes him a while for it to hit him while the bailiffs are dragging him away. And he just starts freaking out because it finally hits him. And then, like, parents just start jumping out of the fucking thing and beating him up.
Yeah, it's just like throwing shit at him.
Yeah, it looks like the cops just, like, sit there for a while and they're just like, okay. And then they, like, finally save him. And then the one dude comes out that's the chick's that he likes, dad. He's like, I treat you like flesh and blood for 10 years. And you do this?
He's like, I didn't
and then
do
that's
it.
when the video thing falls out and he starts beating him up.
Yeah. Whenever he gets into the prison, this dude named Yo bumps into him. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And like, this hot, enforcer chick, she's like, what is she, like the right hand man to the owner, basically? She just controls the prison.
Like the warden.
Yeah, she's like the warden of the normal prison. Because dead men are people that have powers like him. But those people in the prison don't know he has those powers. Well, they do, but I don't know. It's, again, weird.
Yeah.
And she's like, everybody get the fuck out of here. And some dude's like, I'm not moving until I know what size those tits are. She's like, I'm a G. And everybody's like, whoa. And her little assistant is always like, she's just like this, I don't know, she's probably like 21 or something, 22. I don't know, she's like brand new to the place. She's like, can I rub your shoulders? Do you need anything from me? And that continues throughout the entire anime where she just like sexually harasses her constantly. And she just...
Yeah, the bitch has a crazy sword, like a saber.
Yeah, she like slashes some dude with it just to make a... Yeah, she slashes Yo with it because she knows that he steals shit whenever he does that.
Yeah.
But that all rolls into the next episode about what they need to get to survive in Deadman's Wonderland, which is you have to eat the shitty candy every like 72 hours or some shit. Or this collar that is around all their necks will like inject poison into that.
No, they're constantly being injected with poison from the collar, and the candy's the antidote. So if you don't eat the candy within 3 days, the poison will start to overwhelm you and kill you.
Okay, because one of the later episodes, it like shows his veins like pumping, and I was like, oh, he must be out of time, and it's injecting him now. I thought that's how that worked. But,
nah.
Okay. But to get candy and to get these like card point things, do you remember what those are called? Cash points or some shit? But it's basically money. Yeah. And they have to do these dog races, quote unquote, where it's basically a death race where they have to run and like spears and arrows are being shot at them and like fucking flamethrowers and spike traps and this ball game where you have to be the last person holding the ball while all these platforms go down and drop everybody around you. The last one standing's winning.
Yeah, so I thought like this part of the anime was a super cool concept and be its own show in the first place.
Right.
Like there's like there's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie I think called Running Man, where like essentially this is what happens. He like I forget if he gets framed for a crime or actually does a crime, but he gets put in, like, you have to do this race, and if you win the race, then you get to get out of prison. And there's like these guys that like hunt you down. I forget what they're called, but they hunt you down and kill you. And so I was like, oh, this is a cool, like, gonna be a cool view of like a more amusement park version of that, where they have to do all these like obstacle courses and random shit to like get points and survive in this thing, but then after a while it changes into something else.
Yeah, I thought the whole show was going to be about this, actually.
Yeah, because this was like one of my favorite parts of the show, I think. It's the only part that I really remembered, except for Hero.
Yeah, he also meets Shiro. She just kind of like comes through the ventilation things and like just pops in wherever she wants to be, and it's like, is this girl?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. They like don't like really even acknowledge her very often. Like they're like, oh, she doesn't have a number. Oh, that must be a mistake. Like just kind of wave it off. Like
yeah, it doesn't
I
make
don't
any
think that would
sense.
happen.
It's like they see her all the fucking time. Or she'll just pop into place and be like, yo. And it's like, is this girl even a prisoner? What is she doing here? She just go in and out anytime she wants? Or,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking weird.
And she wears mittens. I don't understand that part. They're like really rudimentary mittens too. Like a caveman would make these mittens. And they're like she's constantly wearing them. No idea why. Her feet are exposed in her weird outfit, like her toes and her heels. But her hands have mittens on them. Like she, I don't know, chews her nails chronically or something. Yeah. That bugs me for some reason.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that part of the character design just because it's like just out there.
Yeah.
But he's dealing
with... doesn't fit with the rest of her.
Nah.
But good.
Oh, yeah, but he's dealing with this, like, dickhead dude that just, like, you know, the classic, I'm the king of the schoolyard bully. And he's dealing with him the entire time, and eventually, to win, he has to sacrifice the ball, which means you sacrifice the prize money, but you still win, and that dude dies. And, yeah.
Rita's kind of dumb, like... The whole time they're doing the race, he, like, thought Shiro was just being annoying and bumping into him and pushing him and shit. And then, like, she catches the ball and she's, like, hanging on the or laying on one of the platforms, and then it falls, and she catches herself with her legs on the other one. And he, like, goes and looks over the edge and sees that she has cuts all over her. It's like... You've been helping me this whole time? Like, how else did you think you survived?
Right. Remember whenever he, like, grabbed his two buddies and used them as shields for the arrows, and they just, like, let it happen? They just let it happen. It's fine. We're not going to fight back or anything, because we'll get beat up if we do. It's like, what?
Yeah, the beginning part is the fucking pendulum swinging shit. And it's like a few people see that somebody gets like sliced to fuck, and they're like, oh, fuck this. They try to dip out, and there's these fucking like people dressed like chickens, and they just fucking have sniper rifles, and they start shooting all over. They talked about how like this race was especially brutal because they were trying to kill Ginta because they tried to stage an accident, and because of his powers he saved himself.
Yeah, and Gonta is basically doing all this to survive, and his main goal is to, because he knows the Red Man is there apparently, but he doesn't know where, and he wants to kill the Red Man and avenge his friends and get revenge for getting him put in there. So you find out in the next episode, they go to G Block. They find out that G Block is where the quote-unquote Red Man is supposed to be. And the dude that bumped into him earlier, is actually in charge of, watching him and shit. Because the main president dude that got him put in there told him to. And the whole thing about it is, you can earn enough of these cash point credits for a reason you don't know about, but you'll find out that it's to get his sister, who is a dead man, bought out of there. And that's eventually you can buy yourself out or buy somebody out, apparently. But
it's what I didn't understand was the director, because he sends Yo to what a dude because Ginta because he's a dead man, I guess. But then he tries to stage an accident to kill him at the beginning, and then he tries to kill him a few other times, in the series, and it's are you keeping him or killing him or what's going on? Because he never just finishes it. He just dicks around with shit. Seems like.
Yeah, it's either in the second or third episode. They're just him and Shiro are outside, and the fucking Red Man appears, and that's when Gonta finds out he can just shoot this crazy blood gun out of his hand, and it hits the Red Man, and he runs away.
Yeah.
Which, does that mean she is... Because I thought Shiro was outside with them when the Red Man attacked.
Nah.
Okay, oh, so it was him and Yo then. It was him and Yo hanging out in the Red Man attack.
Yeah, they're eating ice cream.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. But yeah, they go to G Block, and a fucking robot comes after them. And Shiro, this tiny little girl, kicks the fuck out of this robot. And then eventually it gets the upper hand, and a random person shows up with blades coming out of his forearms, and it's this dude named Crow. And he is super hyped up. He kills the robot. Well, helps kill the robot. And then he's all hyped up because he wants a good fight. And Gonta doesn't really know how to control or use his powers, except for the one time he did it, which was when he shot the Red Man. So he
yeah, and he's already calling him Hummingbird and shit.
Yeah, or Maki, or what's his name? Woodpecker.
Or Woodpecker, there we go.
Yeah.
Hummingbird's the chick.
Yeah, everybody's named after a fucking bird.
Yeah.
All the
dead.
It's
so much easier for me to remember their names.
Yeah, I feel that. But, so he tries fucking with him a bunch, and, cutting him, and then, almost kills him, and he's just lets it go. He's you really don't even know what you're doing. And he's you're a bitch. And he fucking shoots him in the chest and cracks his sternum and drops him. And he gets taken out into the ER by somebody or some shit. And then that's how he ends up also being a dead man stuck down where all the other dead men are. He's no longer in the normal population anymore, so he's down even lower. And what they do down there is this fun little game where they pit the dead men against each other until one either kills the other one or drops the other one. And he fights... Who does he fight first? Crow, right?
Crow, yeah.
Yeah, so he fights Crow, and Crow loses. So if you lose, they strap you in this chair and pull a slot machine, and whatever it lands on is what they're going to take out of their body. So it landed on his eye, so it showed a fun, horrible scene of Crow getting his eye fucking cut out of his head. Well, rather, pulled out of his head.
Or this doctor chick is just coming.
Right. She gets all aroused by doing all this kind of fucked up shit.
Oh yeah. Just blood splash on her and everything. Bites the lip and cooms.
Yeah, when he's like down there and shit, he runs into this girl about his age. She's acting all nice and blah blah blah, and they're just talking and hanging out. And he's like, "I'm gonna get you out of here because you seem like a friend." And then they get pitted against each other.
Acting like normal anime, sweetheart girl. Yeah, she's like, what is it? She takes off part of her dress, or the back of her dress, and she's like, has scars, and she's like, I was beaten by my dad. And then she like turns around for some reason, and her shirt almost falls off, and he sees her tits. Yeah. And they just kind of awkwardly sit there, and then like, what is it? They try to run away, and they're like, you little lovebirds trying to sneak away before you fight.
Yeah, and you find out that that they're getting pit against each other and shit after they get caught. And when they're in there, he's like, "Oh, well, what did they do? Agree to both just not fight?" It was the idea until he turned his back and she undoes her earrings. Because they have to make themselves bleed.
She's like, but I wanted you to see this.
Yeah, and she undoes her earrings and blood sprays out of them, and they're like whips. And she just starts beating the fucking shit out of him. And she's super fucked up and crazy. And he's like, why are you doing this? What are you doing to me? She's like, you fucking pussy, you couldn't even make a girl wet if you wanted to. And then just starts beating him, and like she's explaining flashbacks of like how she pinned her dad for trying to touch her sexually.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even real, and she just murdered him and said that shit, but it like didn't actually happen. And she's
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think she got raped by her dad or something.
Well, in the flashback thing, it was her, like, in a corner of the room screaming, covering herself up, like, naked. So she was covering herself up. And the dad looks, like, extremely distressed. He's like, what are you doing? What's wrong? like, seemed like a total fake thing that, like, she was, like, portraying.
Oh, maybe.
That's why I didn't, like, understand the whole thing that goes on. This anime is extremely fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were gonna kill her.
Right. But yeah, they get into the fight and everything, and find out that because Yo jumps in the ring and also starts getting his ass beat, and you find out that that's his sister. And he was like, that none of that shit ever fucking happened. Yeah, because he said that shit never fucking happened. And that she's a murderer, and she's, like, fucked up, and stuff like that.
Well, he's, like, protecting her the whole time.
Yeah, it was weird. And he got all mad at Gonta, and he's like, bro, I didn't know that was your sister.
Like, I didn't know Gonta's the type to hit a woman.
Right.
I was like, what?
Right. And fucking, yeah, I don't get it. But, they end up, Gonta gets serious and, like, fucks her up and then headbutts her. And knocks her the fuck out. So whenever she goes to get strapped in the chair, she's like, don't worry, I've already lost a kidney and like half of my intestines.
Yeah, and her stomach and a kidney or something. Part of her stomach and half a kidney or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. But this is where they find out about what is that group called?
Scar Chain.
Yeah, Scar Chain. He eventually links up with them somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, for some reason they think he's cool. Like, I don't know if it's just like main characteritis or what.
Yeah, that's what happened. He was just walking in the fucking hallway and that shit popped out and just punched him in the face.
Yeah.
And like
punched him in the gut or something, knocked him out.
Yeah, and then they run in there and like they basically kidnap him and take him to their hideout, quote unquote. and they're like, we're the rebellion. We're the rebellion or whatever. I don't even think they're prisoners there, are they?
Yeah, they're all dead men.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Never mind. That I was thinking back to when I first saw the episode, and I was like, who the fuck are these people? They don't have collars, and they didn't do any, like, use their powers for, like, the first 2 episodes, I don't think. That they were in.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused.
They didn't even show Al's powers for a while.
But, which brings up the weird point. If they're always putting on these shows and shit, why aren't people looking for them all the time to pit them against each other?
Yeah, that's why I don't know. I guess they just can hang out in the area, but they can't leave it or some shit.
Yeah. They're treated a lot better as the fact that nobody fucks with them, like, hardly ever until they have to play the game. Because, like, the basic population looks like you just get fucked up all the time. Like,
yeah, the general just looks like normal prison, but with, like, amusement park games where they... I don't know how deadly the normal games are, but you can buy commissary with the shit that you win and shit, so I don't know.
Yeah, but he pops in there, and they go to watch the thing on TV of her getting strapped into the chair, and they pull the thing, and when they pull the lever, it all lands on hair, and that's because they, like, fucked with the machine or some shit, so she wouldn't get, like, really fucked up.
Yeah, they rigged it somehow, and the doctor chick's, like, super pissed off.
Yeah. She's like, ha, you fucking little bitch! Come on, cut the hair! She's fucking crazy the whole time, every time. And she'll pop up throughout the series. There's really nothing else that goes on with that girl at all. She just pops up randomly and has, like, a line or two. Like, right after she's saved or whatever by that. Like, the one time she's just trying to go take a shower and Yo's like, no, I have to come with you. He's like, get out of the bathroom, quit trying to look at my tits. Try to look at my naked body. I can shower myself.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're hurt. I wanted to help you.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Like, I don't know, man. This is Japan, so
right.
Who knows?
Yeah, so basically the idea of the rebellion is to get this computer chip out into the outside world and show what actually goes on in Deadman's Wonderland, because the government once a year comes in and checks out everything to make sure it's up to standard and code. So obviously the president dude does not want them seeing what we do in there, you know?
Yeah.
So this hacker dude, who's like freaky as fuck, makes
human calculator.
Yeah, he has all the footage, quote unquote, on this chip and gives it to him, and they make a break for it, and they start dropping like flies, whether it be the people with the flamethrowers or the monks. You'll find out about the monks right there, because they're like, they have these things in their weapons or some shit that neutralizes the blood attacks, so they can't be hurt by them.
Yeah, oxidizes the blood, so it has no effect or whatever.
Yeah, and the only way to counter that is, and Crow like shows how to do it, is by, what is it, faster than sound? Like, you have to break the sound barrier to like negate that thing's negating your shit. You know, their shit, whatever. It's weird. I don't know.
Which that made me wonder about like some people's powers, because like they show Al, like, he sends little bomb things in, the chick hits him with the, well, I guess we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But like, Al's attack is bombs. So unless you do specifically what happens, there's like, how else are they going to neutralize him? Because he can just make a bigger bomb, you know?
Right. But he never makes a big bomb. He always makes a million little bombs.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering, like, the the limitation on how the limiters or the things that negate their powers work, and then like how that just wouldn't work for some of the things, and then like what else is there? Like, I don't know why specifically the sound barrier does it, but
Yeah, so they like when they make the break for it. First of all, there's a robot that pops out of nowhere while they're on this weird bridge thing, and it sprays some dude with acid while they're running, and like it shows his face melt off, and it, like his skin on his legs are like almost nothing but bone, and then he just like the top part of his body just snaps off of his legs. And just hits the ground.
A crumbled mound on the ground, and he's just like, help me. And for some reason, one dude's like, fuck him, he's dead. I was like, whoa.
Well, I was doing the same thing. You didn't come back from that. They all just
I don't know about fuck him, that was your friend.
Well, maybe not use those words.
Yeah.
Maybe just say run.
And then why the dude's like screaming in this fucking like puddle that he's become, this fucking robot just fucking runs his ass over.
Yeah, and it makes the fucking stupid old video game sound that you'd hear in like a cartoony game where it's like and then you hear like bones shatter and crumble. It's like
yeah.
And everybody's faces are just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's a pretty good kill right there.
Yeah. They all run across the bridge. Some people make it, some people don't. And then they get it over there, and they'll fucking be chilling, waiting on this elevator. Al goes with the human calculator, and they're in this room, and he's like, yo, I got here just in time. Pull that lever. Let the elevator go up. He's like, no. He's like, what do you mean, no? And a monk shows up who is this tiny little girl with this giant fucking sword that is basically like Ivy's sword from Soul Calibur, where it can break into pieces on like a wire.
But like the Buster Sword version of it.
Yeah, it's like that, but a Buster Sword. And Al is very, it's not the fact that he can't do it, because trying to stop her from hurting him, she oxidizes the attacks so they don't work. But he just like completely gives up because he's kind of a non-confrontational dude just to begin with.
Yeah.
And you get a backstory of her in like 5 minutes of her mom always just torturing her for messing things up. She's like this little girl.
Yeah, and her mom was like kooky. Like, it's like, no, you did that all wrong. Now he must pray to the third eye of Jupiter until Uranus has rotated around Neptune, and like shit like that, and like talking about goddesses and all kinds of mad shit.
Yeah, and
then like
she's obsessed
the little
with being
girl
a lady.
Yeah, she's like, you must be a proper lady.
Yeah, Al's a dude. Like, I'm a proper lady. We don't let people like you run amok around here. And then proceeds to just beat him into the walls with the sword. And
she like does this torture, this Chinese torture. I forget what the fuck she called it, but I've always known it as filleting.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you cut the skin off of people, like the just like skin on their arms and shit, like not like very deep.
Yeah.
And then like their nose and face and shit. And they censor it, which I can kind of understand why you would censor that.
I don't know. I don't understand how they censored it, because I saw giant slabs of flesh hitting the ground.
Yeah, you see that, but then they had black marks over the cuts on his body.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, dude, she like slices his fucking knee skin and his arms. And keep in mind, this is an anime, so you could probably picture how this is going down. She stands across the room and does this one piece at a time, just swinging her sword really fast. And
yeah, she fucking peeled him like an apple, dude.
Yeah, but he's not dead. But then she knocks him down and fucking brings that sword down on his arm, and it doesn't fucking cut it. It just crushes it into like a strand of flesh left, holding his arm together. And that's when he gets all fucking pissed off because that dude betrayed him. So he tears the fucking arm off. He tears his fucking arm off and beans her in the head with it. And then just goes and fucking kills that dude.
Yeah, he like bashes his head into the glass.
Yeah. And pulls the elevator. Now, the people know where those people are because of that guy, the traitor guy. So whenever they ride the elevator up, like, pretty much everybody dies almost because they just get fire squatted down. And Shira.
Yeah, that was fucked up, dude. Like, how they have it is everybody's like standing there on a platform and they start getting shot, and then they have a little standoff, and they have these two characters that are, I forget if they they end up dying right here, but this is like the first time they appeared. It's like this chick and this dude, and the dude makes like these giant like harpoons out of blood, and the chick makes like these circle things that I don't know what the fuck they do, and she hits them, and the blood oxidizes and goes away, and she's like, it doesn't work on them, and immediately when she finishes her sentence, dude fucking decapitates her.
Oh yeah, like right there.
Yeah, that like stuck in my head. I was like, damn, that's fucking brutal.
Yeah, there's a lot of like parts of this show where people are just getting sliced into pieces and fucked up shit. Did I say game? Anime. Show. Whatever. I don't know what I said. I'm tired. But, yeah, all that shit happens, and God just like, fuck, what am I gonna do? And who comes and saves him, do you remember?
Well, like,
I think it's Shiru, right?
Shit, I forget what they're called. I know that one dude says he's a monk, but I'm an uber monk, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know he says that, but I forget what they're actually called. But, they're just like, oh, time's up, and then they all leave.
Yeah,
and then Shiro busts through a ventilation pipe out of nowhere.
Yeah, and gets all upset because Mockingbird, like, randomly found her, or she accidentally ran into Mockingbird and was like, hey, your friend's got a bomb on him, and it's that computer chip. So she busts through the thing, and Ganta's like, yeah, we're gonna get out of here. And she runs over and snags it and throws it into this fiery room, slams the door shut, and it just fucking explodes. And Ganta punches her in the face because he thinks that it was actually a real chip, and it wasn't. It was just a bomb.
Yeah, me and Mitch were both confused about that part because, like, did you just think a data chip, like a normal chip with just data on it, would like explode? Like, why did you not pick up what was going on? Like, nobody does either. They get immediately like super mad, and they're just like, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah, and they go back to square one, back to their whole Shear's mad at him, calls him a meanie. They go back to their little hideout, and the monk finds him. Same with all of his like little lackeys, and they just start fucking killing people again. Pretty sure, right?
Yeah,
and,
they do that a lot.
Yeah, and they kidnap Al, and the monk injects him with a bunch of drugs to make him really mad. You can explain this part. I'm like, I don't really get it.
He's like, I don't know, kind of like torturing it with something. I don't know what the fuck he's shooting him up with. He's just shooting him up with these syringes full of shit. And, like, he keeps saying that he has good stamina, and he's, like, shaking and freaking out, and he's trying to get him to remember whenever he killed his wife.
Yeah, that is what happened to him, this particular monk. killed his wife and his daughter, right?
Yeah. Well, how Al remembers it is that his wife is dead and his daughter is out on the outside. But and he has a locket with her picture in it. But in reality, the locket is empty, and his daughter also died in the situation. He said something about merging with her, and they showed like a fetus in a tube.
Yeah,
so
I don't get
that. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that.
Yeah, but he goes all fucking crazy. Crow's trying to train Gonta at this time, and then this shit happens, and he's already almost out of blood from training because you have to have blood to do it. So the more you use, you can get like anemic and shit, and super weak and die, obviously. But that happens, and then he turns Al into like this killing machine. And the original plan is they go after the monk and all those fucking people, and he opens up this door behind him, and there's Al in there. And he comes out, and he just starts blowing everybody up. And for some reason, the monk dude starts shooting his own people along with everybody else. I don't know, it's just crazy. But,
yeah, and then, like, Gonta has, like, a speech to Al to, like he's motherfucking Naruto. Which he, like, always tries to be Naruto and talk to people in this, like with the hummingbird situation. Like, he finds out that Yo stole his only piece of candy, and he almost dies because of it. And he's like, he was stealing that because of you, so that's, like, okay with me. And it's like, what? Yeah, fuck that, dude. And, what is it? Oh, shit. Sorry. I, like, got lost my thought there.
Well, he's, like, does that speech, but that's not even what snaps him out of it. He's just like, he won't kill him like he's killing everybody else. He just like beats him to a pulp. Like just punches the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he's trying to protect Shiro, and Shiro's like, I don't want to be saved by a meanie. Like, it does not matter how crucial the situation gets. She's like, don't fucking save me. You're a meanie. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, she fucking drop kicked that robot in the face. Like, Shira's, like, not really a person to fuck with. Like, she wins that game, the dog races, essentially by herself. And with dragging Gonta around.
Yeah, but
so, like
this fucking Belle is on. We didn't even talk about this girl that much. I don't really think we have to. We can leave that for the viewer. But she has like this little cheap cat bell around her neck. And when it jingles, it just somehow snaps him out of it. And he's like, oh my god, what have I done? No! But really, like, everybody that's dead is just bad people, so I don't get
it. Yeah, like, he killed... The monk let out Al to kill his friends, but he just immediately starts killing the guards. And then... Fucking, after the Naruto moment with, I don't know, I keep fucking up his name now.
Gonta.
After the Naruto moment with him, Al's like, no, I no longer want to induce pain on other people. And the monk's like, I liked you a lot better when you did. And then he shoots him, like, with a big gun like, blows a giant hole through his stomach.
Yeah, and drops him. And then Gonta, since he learned how to break the sound barrier, training with Crow at the last second, mind you, he, like, fucking shoots him, and he catches it somehow, and then fucking dude with a giant hole in his stomach where there's nothing but air there, like, somehow grabs the dude, and he's like, oh no, you're going with me. And, like, Gonta charges up this giant black ball that just explodes the monk and fucks up Al even more, even though he's definitely going to die anyway. So, And then, like, it just cuts to them having their sad, "Oh, don't go talk kind of thing, and he's like dying. But it cuts to quote unquote the end where they're looking out of like the rubble and there's the giant Ferris wheel that Shiro wants to ride on. So I guess that's supposed to be an assumption that they got out, but that's how it ends.
Yeah, it was pretty confusing.
Yeah, and then they have the 13th episode, which is Crow before he was Crow, but he was still Crow. Like, he still had all the powers, and he just became a cop, and, like, shitty people were after them.
Because some old man believed in him. He made him become a cop. None of the other cops like him, and he beats them up because they're making fun of him.
Oh,
he's a bad guy, some shit.
Yeah.
Or had a bad past. And then he's, like, helping this chick named Hinata with an orphanage, and there's this like gang that are trying to portray themselves as good guys, but they're really bad guys, and they beat up the little kid, and then Crow like stabs one of them, and then they run away, and then you meet this really weird dude that's also a dead man. For some reasons he's not out. I think he's like hunts for other dead men.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Because, like, Deadman isn't even made yet whenever all this is going on. Because that's the end of that episode, is them looking up and they're like, "Oh, I heard they're going to privatize that place and make it into a prison." He's like, "Yeah, and we're going to be the ones to put them in there." And then, like, "But you got put in there. We want to know why you got put in there. We also want to know did these people, did Ganta and Shiru ever make it out, and what happened afterwards?" Like, it just ends on a fucking weird ass note. It's definitely entertaining. It's pretty crazy, but there's a lot of filler in there too, like, and like a lot of talking that's just kind of useless. I shouldn't call it filler, but there's just a lot of shit that's like, for all the shit they tell you and shove into the anime, they give you no explanation for half of it. That's where I'm like at with the whole thing. It's not bad, but it's like, I want to know what the fuck is going on. Like, just, there's this cutscene of me fused with your daughter. Oh, look at this giant fetus in a tube. And then cut to next scene, and we never hear about this again.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was that?
The fucking, the monk and his backstory were crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll leave that for the viewers, too. Unless you want to say
you watch that on your own.
Yeah, you can tell us what you make of that. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, somebody super fucked up made this.
It's pretty good. It's like, if you want to watch what would it be called, ultra violent anime, this is definitely one of the better ones.
Yeah, like good story kind of deal.
Yeah. There's this one ultra violent anime I seen where this dad is teaching his sons to fight bears to the death, and then like it cuts to the future, and one of them is a demon and has turned into a girl, and then like the one dude has to fight all these other demons, and then he has to fight his brother or sister to the death, and then they like end up killing each other. And it's really weird. But it's definitely worse than this. It's actually cleat though, which is weirder. Like, they have explanations for all the retarded shit in there.
I'd rather have an explanation than no explanation.
Yeah, I get you.
Like, it could be...
Yeah, a lot of this is a mystery.
Yeah. The next anime said is going to be one that is currently just being released right now, and it's Solo Leveling. We can do just the first season if you want, Mike, but the second season is dropping right now, like, every week, and I think they might be close to the end of it, just depending, like... just on how many episodes there are. Like if it's just another 12 episodes, it could be just about done. So we'll just say right now, we'll do the first season of Solo Leveling. And if you like it enough and you want to keep going with it, we can do the second season along with it.
Okay.
Because both seasons are just excellent, but like, it really gets fucking crazy. Like, once everything is established in the first season, when it gets to the second season, shit goes fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like, even more wild. It's already wild, but yeah. And
kind of want to do a movie.
I mean, we can do that after Solo Leveling.
Yeah.
Like, you can pick it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But, after the next week, we'll have, what is it? Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah.
And the next game after that, I'm not going to say it yet. I still want to decide.
Yeah.
So, alright, guys.
Oh, you're still deciding. Fuck you.
Oh, my God. Fucking, I just don't, well, whenever you brought it up earlier, you're like, oh, back-to-back 2 40-hour games. And then we add we can really, if we add Fire Emblem into the mix, which we're already doing, that's also another really long game.
Yeah.
So, well, I know what you're probably going to pick Suikoden 2 on your game, right?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't know because it's a long game as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to put I have shorter games that I could throw in, so you could throw in Suikoden 2 and make it not feel like such a grind fest.
Okay.
Which I don't mind doing. So.
Let's talk about this after the show.
Yeah, I know. Alright. But next episode is definitely is Fire Emblem Awakening. And the next anime is Solo Leveling. So, we'll leave you guys with that. Come join us on Discord. It'll be fun. Come hang out.
Adios.
Later.